let me change your life. Because if you're watching this, then I am your proof that you can effectively side hustle while you cook from 9 to 5. And not only is it the easiest thing you could do, but it is an absolute must because the beauty is, if you want to front like you don't have time, I will show you how it may not take much more time than the 9 to 5 hours you're already putting in. And if you're wondering, because resumes matter, 6 figures came to me decades ago. Senior leadership, $1 billion organizations, multi-million-dollar budgets, large staff, been there, done that. I'm also married, 2 children, cook, clean, take out trash, soccer games, show rehearsals. So there's that again for not having time. Yet you keep hearing otherwise, that this 9 to 5 is what you shouldn't do, or worse, it's just not possible. What this means is the speaker is either inexperienced, incompetent, or completely ignorant, neither of which is good for you. Now, for the sake of how you will specifically benefit, I will give you 3 reasons why you should embrace your 9 to 5, beginning with the most obvious and ending with some insight I highly doubt, actually I know, you won't get anywhere else. So let's roll. Reason 1, financial investment. We start with the easy and obvious because any business venture, endeavor, or side hustle requires capital investments, which means it's at minimum a one-time cost, and it could be a sunk cost, as you may never see a return on that investment, at least not for quite some time. For example, in order to record, I purchased a computer, a mic, a camera, a light, a desk, headset, subscribed to a few apps I may or may not have needed to help me record and edit. And I'm sure I'm missing others, but the point is, those all cost. And because you are likely an unknown entity, the primary capital investor is you. So how will you get the cash to invest? Well, a 9 to 5 is, for the most part, a guaranteed check every 2 weeks, sometimes weekly. And for you pessimists, the data shows that companies lay off 1% of people on average yearly. Yes, that sucks, but it also means that 99% of people working don't get fired and continue collecting checks. So you're in and getting paid, which likely means, aside from trying to save, you can also invest in your company's 401k or retirement investment, which 95% of large companies will match up to about 3 to 4%, which is free money. But of course, it's not really for your retirement. You should be thinking of using that to fund your side hustle, as it's an easy way to save, earn a match without even thinking about it. You set it, forget it, collect later. And I know you know this side hustle will take some time. It's not literally an overnight thing. So let's say at minimum it takes you 5 years. In those 5 years, you could have earned 20, 30, maybe even 40K, depending on how aggressive you invest and, of course, how much money you're making and able to secure. For context, when I started investing, I was making 65K annually. After 5 years, I had about 37K, which was enough for me to buy my first house. But more importantly, I have a basement, which is a space where all that equipment I invested in, that I use for my side hustle, for my channel, that's where it is. So the math is pretty simple. You need capital, and the 9 to 5 offers you that, as opposed to hustling and not making money. Imagine that. Reason 2, business mechanics. Do you actually know how a business works? Yes, you can certainly YouTube, Google, or research a lot of things, but there's nothing like seeing it play out real time. And every time you punch in, it's playing out before you, a business, real time. It's already an operational business machine. It has profit and loss statements, capital investments and investors, operating expenses, organizational structure and hierarchy, handbooks, resources, training. The framework of how a business looks when it goes from idea to reality. You should absolutely leverage that and network with your leadership group and even their leaders. Ask about what strategic investments have been made and are going to be made. Is there a 3 to 5 year plan of action? What is the business looking like and where is it going? You have access to an ecosystem of success, and it can show you where things break and where things are successful, which can help you apply sound business mechanics to your side hustle. Easy math. Reason 3, wasted time. A recent study by the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that the average worker really only does, a pause for effect, 2 hours and 53 minutes of work in an 8-hour day, which also aligns with the Pareto principle that states 20% of people do 80% of the work. You have time within the confines of the 9 to 5 grind. 5 hours and 7 minutes, you could be asking your direct boss about leadership principles and guidance for growth. 5 hours and 7 minutes to go on your phone and research how to be better at your side hustle, not to watch me on social media. 5 hours and 7 minutes, you could be networking or even just quietly thinking and dreaming about what needs to be done. The 9 to 5 is the easiest commitment you will ever make because there's nothing to really think about. The hardest work is already done for you. You just need to collect, leverage, and hustle out the side door. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.